Hello and welcome to a very special, brief edition of the 6CW podcast. I am your host, Pete, and today we're going to cover my thoughts and feelings on the Super Show. We're also going to answer a few questions that I've asked for in the 6CW Facebook chat. Not only that, but I have a couple of special announcements I'd like to make. So without further ado, the cat has just shit in my general direction. Without further ado, let's get on with the show. First of all, thank you to all of Creative for the Super Show. I cannot explain just how much work goes into these shows, and what they have put out in the last couple of shows has been fantastic. It really feels like a true road to Night of Glory. You know, it's the biggest show of the year, and I think they've nailed it so far. I can't see Night of Glory disappointing us in any way, to be honest. So thank you guys, and well done to all the promos. Well done for developing your characters as much as you have, and posing these problems to Creative and saying I want to stand up and I want to be counted, because at the end of the day, guys, that is what we're here for. Just a few talking points about the Super Show. First of all, Reborn finally making his choice at the end after weeks and weeks of, is he going to pick Liam Wood? Is he going to pick Joshua? He finally picked Joshua at the end of the show, standing over him, holding the title aloft, passing Dicey the EWF title. It's a big moment. And I think it fits. I think a lot of people are saying, well, Dicey should have been with Joshua because Dicey's versus Jones, etc., etc. But I think just the fact that Dicey has made it to the main event is enough to fuck Jones over. Personally, I'm happy. I assume that Dicey is just happy to be in the main event and appreciates what's happened. Can't say that I'm not disappointed for Thunder, because obviously Thunder's sort of had this date with Destiny for months and months and months, but in terms of the actual storylines, in terms of the actual way that things have gone since Day of Reckoning, I think this is the logical choice, and I think Thunder being in the fight for the right match is going to be a good thing for him. And I think personally, I've got a question on the Facebook chat asking me where Thunder goes from here. I think he wins the fight for the right match. I think if he doesn't win it, then they've obviously got something big planned, because he is a great promoer. Some people don't get his character. I have to admit, at times I am one of those people, but he's a great promoer. I always, feel invested in his promos. So there's always a plan for us people, and Creative have got that plan, and Thunder will get his rewards for the consistency of his promos. Simple as that. In terms of the mismatched tag team matches at the start of the show, what can I say? They played out pretty much how they should have played out. Really enjoyed quite a few of them. The opener was good. I don't know who wrote that one, but the opener was very good. But in general, just everything about the Super Show was just very well written, and I really appreciate what Creative did. I also appreciate Matt for letting me help out with the main event. I did a little spot between Dicey and Heath, which I assume everyone enjoyed. Just in general, I'm always here to help if any creative need any help with anything. That's it, I think, for the Super Show. We're going to go in depth at a later date, pretty much on the whole road to Night of Glory. Hopefully before Night of Glory, because otherwise it'll be a bit redundant. But, we're going to go there at some point, so I'm not going to go into too much depth. So I'm going to go straight to the questions. First of all, I've got a few from Jimbo. Jimbo asks, who will be the big winners coming out of Night of Glory? Well, it's a tough one. A tough one, really. I don't see Liam Wood losing against Dicey Riley in his match, but I could potentially see the winner of the Fight for the Right getting involved after in that one. I think having Liam Wood not successfully defend his title might, I don't know, it might be a bit crazy. So I'm sticking with Liam Wood as, staying with the EWF title after that result, but maybe Thunder coming out and sort of saying, no, this is my time, and taking that title for himself. Whether that involves heel turn or just Thunder thinking, you know what, I should have been here, so I'm going to take it. Who knows? Reborn. I think the end of the end of Joshua probably written to be Night of Glory in terms of the development of the character. Robin Reborn being the one to do it, I don't know if it works in my head, but if it does, then fair play. It's obviously been in the running, and I can't argue with that. So I'm gunning for Reborn to win that match. Yeah, Reborn's going to win that match. As I say, the Fight for the Right, I'm adamant that Thunder is going to win that and get a title shot in the coming months, or maybe even at Night of Glory. You've then got to think, obviously, the TV title. Who's going to win that? And for me, and I've said it in the Facebook chat, I've said it on 606. For me, it's Cerberus every single day. There's just no way that the story ends with Angle winning the title at Night of Glory. I think he's setting himself up for a fall just in how he's been in recent weeks. Maybe that's just how I'm writing him. But judging from what I've seen of the show so far and how they're doing segments with Angle, I do feel that maybe that is the direction they're going in. Big winners: Cerberus, Thunder, Liam Wood for a minute, and Robin Reborn, basically. I was a bit reluctant for that one. In terms of the tag team titles, I do feel that I think it's Perfect Execution's time. I think although Lex Paul is on creative, I feel that if they were to always lose matches on creative, then it'd be too predictable. And I think it's time for Lex Hart and Perfect Jack ride that title wave again. We'll see how it goes. What does the future hold for Angle as a character is my next question, and that is from Jimbo as well. Sorry, I had to adjust my chair. What can I say? Obviously, Angle's my character. So, in terms of in my head, what does the future hold? I've always said, Angle is sort of as a character after the big one. If that's the direction creative want to go in, that's the direction creative want to go in. If Angle will always be the chaser and not the one that gets chased, then I'll accept that, because that is who they want Angle to be. I believe there's a lot of people behind the Angle character. A lot of people say that there's a promo consistency about him. In terms of where I see the character going as a character, I think at some point he's got to snap. I think people are looking too much into this corporate Angle. He's never been acknowledged on the show as corporate Angle. He's never been acknowledged by Jones or Kramer as working for them or anything like that. It's simply something that Angle has took upon himself as a way to say, look, I want to be face of the company. I'm prepared to do anything. But that veil slips every so often. There's always little moments where he goes a little bit crazy. The clown isn't coming back. It's not a case of I've done all this character development to sort of go, now I'm going full on clown again, or anything like that. But I think you've got to accept that as a character, Engel is a crazy son of a bitch, and he's got a lot of things going through his head at any one time, and he'll go a little bit mental every now and again. And I think all it takes is one little thing for him to snap, and he'll snap. And you know, Cerberus winning the TV title might be that moment. Maybe Cerberus becomes Kramer or Jones's secret project, and Engel resents that, and it sends him over the edge. Or you know, there's so many different ways that you can look at it. But for me, Engel as a character, you know, he's going for the big one. He might be the chaser. He might be the chasee. That is completely up to creative. But in terms of my creation, he is simply, you know, doing what Engel does, and whatever comes of that will come of it. I've always been a firm believer in what will be. So Engel Harlequin's future, what will be, will be. What will be, what will be the next big feud in 6CW that will always be around? I think there's a case for quite a few rivalries at the moment. Liam Wood Dicey is obviously one of these that you could say is probably the last big feud that will always be around. Cerberus Engel as well. I think they're destined to always meet up at some point in the ring. I had somebody describe it as better than Twilight. But no, the next big feud, possibly Heath and Dicey, possibly Engel and Dicey. You know, you've got so many possibilities. I think Liam Wood and Thunder would be a very, very interesting thing to bite into at some point. So you know, there's quite a few options, and I know I feel like I'm skirting around the subject, but to be honest, there's quite a few strong promos. I could see, for example, Engel and Anthony Grace having some amazing promo battles. I had a match with him in the TV title tournament, and we promo together, and it was fun, and people enjoyed reading them. So you know, there's so many different options because there's so many good promos. You know, despite obviously people leaving, the people that are good are sticking around, and that is a good thing for the future. That was also from Jimbo, by the way. Ollie's just said, who is the biggest nonce in 6CW? Jimbo said Kramer. I can't argue with that. Kramer, possibly Henry Lloyd. I think Henry's got something about him. But you know, I can't really answer that. Where will Thunder go now? Well, we spoke about this earlier. I think he'll win the Fight for the Right match. He will be champion in the near future, and I think Thunder needs to stick at the guy, because I think eventually he is going to get his shot, and I think this story has got a long way to go for him. I'd love to see Engel versus Thunder at some point. The former clown versus the new clown, as Ollie so eloquently put it. So yeah, you know, fantastic. In terms of Thunder's future, you know, the future's bright, and you know, just because of a couple of losses, you know, Liam Wood lost so many matches, and then now he's the EWF title holder. So it's there to be taken. The opportunity is there to be taken for Thunder, and I think you just got to grab it and just run with it. Will Jones outsmart Kramer? This is from Dicey. I don't know what's going on there, to be honest. It's all a little bit elaborate, and you know, we've had an announcement that 6CW have paid them off, so is Jones' job now safe again? Because originally it wasn't safe. Kramer said, you know, it's time to take over, sort of thing. I think Jones has got it all in hand. You don't run a successful company like this and not have a plan for things like incidents like this that are happening. So yeah, honestly, I think that Jones will outsmart Kramer. I think he's got it all in hand. Dice has also asked, does my butt look big in this? If it's that kilt you were wearing the other day when I saw you, then no, and neither does your cock. Sorry, man. Also, how do I see the Heath Dicey tension playing out down the line? That's from Ollie. I think I wrote a pretty good moment in the Elimination Chamber match where pretty much Dicey was treating Heath like his little bitch. I can't see that changing early doors. I think Heath will grow as a character, and he will get his revenge. But initially, I think Dicey will be the one that dominates the feud, and I think it has to happen that way for Heath to eventually step up to the plate and be the bigger man. It's gonna be a fun ride, and that's all I can say really. I think Aaron Heath and Dicey Riley are going to have some good promos. I think if Ed can get off his arse and promo more often. But yeah, honestly, I think Heath is the new Liam Wood in terms of are you heel or face. But I think by the end of a feud with Dicey, we'll know. Although we didn't know with Liam Wood, I still don't know. If Kellis, I don't know if it's pronounced Kellis or Jellis or anything like that, but Kellis is essentially a guy from a company called WSW. If you just go on Facebook and type in Mr. Kellis, it's spelled KJELLIS. He's got a fan page and everything. But yeah, WSW is a very, very poor Swedish EFED, which Liam or Marky found on Facebook, and we decided to hijack it a little bit. Man Mountain Mike has been champion, and Matsko, the amazing magician thing, also won the title, and it was fun while it lasted. The initial 3 or 4 days were fun, but Kellis is essentially awful. He promos videos that just defy belief. You really need to go on Facebook and have a look at them, because that's the only way I can actually get across to you how bad it is actually if you see them. The images will not go away overnight, but it's well worth a watch. Anyway, the question was, if Kellis and Matsko were to meet one-on-one, what sort of match would they have? Well, I'm going to do my best Kellis impression. Hardcore! But yeah, it'd have to be a hardcore match. Kellis is the man in terms of hardcore, apparently. So to have Matsko versus Kellis at any event, it's got to be a hardcore match. And I'm safe in saying that Matsko would actually win that match. Pretty confident in that, especially if the result is based on promo. I think Kellis gets a mark for being brave enough to do a video promo, but that mark immediately gets cut off when you realise how bad that video actually is. I've got another one from Jimbo. What matches do you see getting added tonight of Glory? I don't know. We've got a tag match. We've got the Fight for the Right, where pretty much there's quite a few multi-man matches at the moment. With quite a few people taken up by these matches. So I'm trying to think of people that are actually freed up that weren't in the Elimination Chamber or aren't in the matches that are already there. So, you know, I think there'll be a gimmick match of some sort. Whether it's active members or not, I'm not sure. But I do think there'll be a gimmick match, maybe a dream match, you know, added last minute. You know, we're not actually selling tickets, so, you know, it makes sense to just add a dream match the week before, because, you know, we're not actually selling tickets to people. So yeah, I can't answer that question, Jim. I'm sorry. It's one of those questions where it's like, well, there's so many people taken up by matches already, that I don't know where. I don't know half the roster that's free to be able to have a match. Anyway, on to the announcements. Guys, first of all, the Extreme tournament is still open. I know I said a date, and I can't even remember what that date was, but you know what? We've not got enough members for a tournament yet. We need members. Otherwise, it's just going to be a one-match thing. Either way, something is going to happen with that. There will be a King of Extreme announced, and there will be something written to show that happen. But I'd prefer it if it was a tournament. Obviously, the people that are in it now would prefer it if it was a tournament, because that's what was promised. I'm not going to make up guys just to fill the numbers and, you know, give people buys, because it's not fair on people that suddenly out of nowhere promo really well. So, you know, if you want to get involved, get involved. I'm not going to force you, but, you know, the date, it's still open. You know, it's not until after Night of Glory, so there's about 3 weeks till it actually happens. So as long as you get it in within 2 weeks, then I'm happy to accept any applications for the tournament. Second announcement, guys. You know, I'm really sorry that nothing has happened with the podcast in recent weeks. It's took a lot of effort to get this out, and I'm not happy with it. But it's something just to sort of whet the appetite. The next podcast we do will be a very big Night of Glory special. I'm currently writing notes frantically for the last sort of 4 shows. I think it's that many that we've missed. Might be 3, but either way, I'm writing the notes down. We're going to cover everything. We're going to cover all the developments that have happened over the last few weeks. I think that's about it. Thank you guys for listening. It's been great. Not so great. This smell is awful. That cat needs fucking shooting or something. Right, guys, thank you very much for listening, and I will catch you on the other side. Thank you. Goodbye.